Bonjour, Dobry den, Happy New Year. You are welcome to the Weekly with Olivier Vedrine in this nice new studio of UATV. I am Olivier Vedrine. We will spend together 20 minutes to discuss about what is happening in the world and in Ukraine. I want to speak about some key points about very important events who happened in Europe during 2016. And you know that one of the most dramatic events were terrorist attacks in Europe, in Paris, in Berlin, in Istanbul a few days ago. Those terrorist attacks will not end. We can see some report of Europol, and Europol wrote that we must be ready for new terrorist attacks in Europe, in the European Union. The terrorist attack will continue, and for Europe this is one of the biggest threats. In Paris, the impact of the terrorist attack in Nice was huge. Remember, that was the 14th of July. And now Europe must be ready for a new terrorist attack. And this is really one of the biggest key points for 2016 terrorist attack in Europe. And that will continue, as I said, and as Europol wrote in one of his reports. Now I want to talk also about another aspect, very important key points about what's happened in Europe during 2016. And I want to speak especially about Europopulism. Europopulism is really a danger for EU integrity and for the European construction. We can read some analysis in Carnegie Europe. You can see also some analysis in some newspaper in France, in Germany, in UK, in US. Populism is a real danger for Europe. But for me, the biggest danger is the propaganda used with populism. I will explain to you. In France, we have Marine Le Pen. Marine Le Pen is really a populist party in France. She's got around 30% or 35% of voters, and she's one of the biggest political party in France. And this is really a danger at first for France and also for Europe. At the same time, we have also populism in Germany, in Italy, in Hungary, in Austria. And what is behind that? Behind that, we know, for example, Marine Le Pen. She has some money from a Russian bank. She took a loan from a Russian bank. We know that. We know that Marine Le Pen and family of Le Pen, they have a lot of friends in Russia who help them. The populism is used in Europe by Kremlin and Russian propaganda to destroy the European Union. The target of Putin is to destroy the European Union, and he will use populism in Europe to destroy the European Union. That's the most important fact. And during 2016, we saw that the Russian propaganda was very effective, and this propaganda used populism in Europe. Now I want to talk also about a big key point, a big event who happened in 2016, the Brexit. The Brexit. Yes, the Brexit is also a result of populism in the EU. And the Brexit is really very bad news at first for UK. Because you know that now UK lost a lot of can I say, a lot of business, a lot of economical interests. But by the way, what means the Brexit? The Brexit is a crisis in the EU. Some persons say that maybe we can have other Brexit. I think no, because I'm sure that the Brexit process will not go to the end. Now in UK, more and more British citizens, UK citizens, they are understanding that the Brexit is very bad for UK at first. I'm sure, and I discussed about that with some friends in UK, in Brussels, in France, in Germany. A lot of my friends, we are thinking that the process of the Brexit will not go to the end, and we will have a big, can I say, governmental crisis in UK to stop and to negotiate the end of the Brexit process. Because, as I said, the Brexit as first is bad for UK. But that was a big event of 2016. Now, I want to speak about something very important also, what happened a few days ago, the farewell speech of President Obama. As you know, now we have a new president, we will have a new president officially the 20th of January, but we have a new president elected in USA, it's Donald Trump. And Obama did his farewell speech in Chicago. And what we can underline about this farewell speech of Obama. First of all, we can say that the result of the mandate of Obama is really good. Really good. But Obama insisted in one thing, that now US is divided after the election of Donald Trump. And Obama insisted in other things, that the US citizen must be more involved in US policy. Yes, Obama invited US citizens to participate more and more in politics. He spoke about his own experience when he was in Chicago. He started in Chicago. And President Obama asked the US people to be more and more engaged. Asked the US people to be more and more united. Asked the US people to be less and less in some, I can say, isolationism, protectionism. Really, the speech of Obama was more a speech, can I say, of philosophy. And this is really, that was really a very nice speech of a man, and not only a speech from a president. And really, in this speech, we can see that Obama was a great president of USA, and I hope that he will have a lot of influence in the future of USA, because for me and for a lot of persons, the two mandates of the President Obama was clearly good and with good results. And I hope USA will stay the country of democracy and freedom, and I hope USA will still be united. I am very happy to receive today my guest, Anton Myronovych, Lieutenant Colonel of the Ukrainian Army Forces, press officer. Anton, welcome.
Thank you.
I am very happy to receive
Me too, it's a pleasure for me.
Here, because for me, I want to support the Ukrainian Army and this fight for freedom and for Ukrainian independence. Then we will speak about Christmas time in the Ukrainian Army and especially in the ATO zone. You just came from the ATO zone and you were in the ATO zone several times. You know what's happened here. But for Christmas, how old is the tradition of celebrating Christmas in the Ukrainian Army?
Thank you for inviting me here. Yeah, actually, I spent last year Christmas in the ATO zone. I spent Easter last year in the ATO zone. Fortunately, I've been at home this year, but anyways, I have something to share. As you know, the Ukrainian army and Ukrainian history, they have very deep roots. If you know the Kievan Rus, it was Christianized more than 1,000 years ago. And from that time, I just want to remind you that the Kievan Rus, actually it was a fundament for the modern Ukraine. And from that time, the army of Ukraine and the church, they were together. They were one of the main institutions or state institutions of this country. So, as you can understand, celebrating of Christmas in Ukrainian army has very old and very rich traditions.
And can you give to us some example of how Ukrainian army celebrated Christmas before the Donbass war?
Well, you know, before this ATO, this war, doesn't matter how people call this conflict, started before the Russian aggression against Ukraine. Ukrainian military personnel tried to spend this Christmas time as the rest of the Ukrainian citizens, to stay at home, to enjoy their families, to enjoy the Christmas dinner, but except of these soldiers and officers who were supposed to be on duty during this Christmas time. And, we tried to follow all the traditions, tried to stay at home in with our next of kin, with our friends, with our families, try to enjoy each other, try to sing these traditional Christmas songs, to enjoy the Christmas food. I just want to remind you, it's 12 meatless dishes we have in Ukraine during the Christmas dinner. So actually nothing special, almost the same for the military and the same for the civilian citizens of Ukraine.
For example, in the French army, we invite families in regiment to celebrate Christmas time. Do you invite the families of the soldiers and officers to celebrate Christmas at military bases, like we do in France? And how you prepare Christmas in the regiment with the family, if you prepare with the family?
Of course we do. We have some military facilities. We have even sometimes we even have churches and chapels in the military units where we can invite our friends, our families, our kids, wives, husbands, whatever, and we can enjoy this Christmas time together in the military facilities. First of all, we have great mess halls. We have officers' clubs where we can hold different social events, kind of theatrical activities, So yeah, we had this. We are trying to do this, but by the way, we have to take into consideration that we have some operational regulations, So it depends on unit, it depends on the location.
Of course,
Sometimes we cannot invite. But anyways, we're trying to do this.
Okay, and now I want to speak more especially about ATO zone. And what about Christmas in ATO zone? What are the difference between the celebration of Christmas on the front line and at the military bases and other region in Ukraine? What's the difference between those in ATO zone and in other region in Ukraine?
I think you understand that it's absolutely different environment in the place of where units located and the front line, ATO zone. And our experience proves that the Russian troops, the terrorists who are supported by Kremlin authorities, sometimes they're even more active during the holidays, during the religious holidays. So
you mean that the Russians are Orthodox? Yes, they are more active during
sometimes it happens. So in this case, our soldiers and officers, they must be more careful. They must be more open-eyed. They must be more prepared for the counterception, to the counteracting to the enemy aggression. But anyways, at the same time, the military leadership trying to do its best to create this Christmas environment for every soldier. I'm very thankful to the military chaplains who stay all the time with our soldiers and our officers at the ATO zone, even at the hottest spots of the front line. And they're supporting our soldiers. They're trying to create this Christmas even for those who are supposed to hold weapon and defend our country during the Christmas time.
And during Christmas time, we always have some nice stories and some, I can say, some miracles. Can you tell us some nice stories about Christmas in the ATO zone?
Well, you know, there are many different stories from Christmas time in ATO zone. All of them are very good and very interesting. I need like a whole bunch of time to tell it. I just want to emphasize that the spirit of the Christmas we can feel even more on the front line, because as you know, that Jesus Christ, he came to our world with a great mission to defend the human beings from evil and sins. And actually, our military personnel, our soldiers, our officers, they have almost the same mission. They're defending their country, they're defending their motherland, they're defending the future of the next generation from the enemy, from the sly enemy. We're trying to create our own future, peaceful future. So I think that every soldier in Ukrainian army, he has his own little Christmas story, and all of them create one big future for Ukraine.
And sometimes we are talking about, you know, those cats and dogs in the Ukrainian army, in the ATO zone. A very nice story. I saw some photo, and I know that a lot of nice stories happened in the ATO zone, on the ATO zone. But what about especially the spirit of Christmas? You say that the spirit of Christmas is very important, and I think this is good, because yes, your country is fighting for freedom, independence, and your own future. Another question, because in Ukraine you have Catholic and you have Orthodox, and for Christmas they celebrate Christmas in different dates, and you have also Protestant, and Catholic Protestants celebrate Christmas on December 25 and the Orthodox on January 7. How the Ukrainian army celebrate those two dates? How you manage that?
Well, I think that the main subject matter expert for this religious question is those people who has more expertise in their religion. I just want to remind you that the Ukraine, it's a multi-religional country. You can meet in the armed forces of Ukraine Catholics, Orthodox Christians, Jews, Muslims, people from other religions and other confessions. For us, for military, there is no difference. We have our own aim. This aim is common. We have our one motherland. We have our future. And unfortunately, we have the same enemy and the same war. So in this case, it doesn't matter when we're going to celebrate Christmas time or Christmas. The thing is that we are strong together, and I hope that we will be stronger in the nearest future.
And my last question, during Christmas, what are the feelings of the soldiers and officers in the ATO zone? You already answered, but what is this feeling during these special times?
You know, during the Christmas, especially this magical night, every soldier who is at the front line, he feels that his task is very important. He is there at the front line to defend his family, to defend his country. Yeah, he feels the Christmas, but first of all, his main feeling that he is a defender of his future, the future of Ukraine. So in one combination, you know, feelings of our soldiers and the support of our families, the volunteers from Ukraine, from other countries. They create, I hope, great future for Ukraine, because we need peace. But
Yeah, of
peace, after the great victory,
Yeah.
victory of Ukraine.
Thank you very much. Then I can say Slava Ukraine
Героям слава!
and see you
Thank you.
soon.
Thank
Merci
you.
beaucoup. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. I hope you enjoy those 20 minutes together in this nice new studio. And have a nice week. See you next Sunday. Happy New Year. S Novým Godom. And remember, never give up.